Welcome back to more science. I'm your host, Boston PhD. Joining me as always is Dr. Moon.
Hi, I guess, maybe. I don't know.
Hey man, it is probably one of the biggest I don't know episodes we've had for quite a while. We're here to pass
Oh
judgment
yeah.
on
I mean,
Slay the Spire.
if you want a good example of an intro, go check out the last ranking episode we did and see how that is very much a case of okay, here is the discussion. It's done out with a
It's
bullet
like
and
one
we're
of the
done.
shortest episodes we've ever had. Where it's like it's this number, right? Yep, done,
Mm-hmm.
printed.
Mm-hmm.
This one's gonna be a little bit harder. Friendly reminder here that
Mm-hmm.
our next game is Despot's game, that is available on Game Pass on Xbox One, Series consoles, and PC. So you can join us
Mm-hmm.
over there for a considerably different roguelike than the one we just played. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
very,
definitely. Yeah.
very different. All right, but we're here to talk about Slay the Spire. Moon, why don't you sort of encapsulate your final thoughts here, and let's answer the big question we ask every month, which is, are you going to keep playing this fine video game?
Possibly. That was a probably and a possibly
A,
mixed in, by the
a,
way, for those who
a,
didn't catch that.
a yes with many question marks?
Yeah, because the problem is, I made the joke when we did the Game of the Year stuff that, like, yeah, maybe I've had like 30 minutes a day to play video games
Yep.
the entirety of last year. It turns out it was like 45 to 56 minutes, I think, is the exact amount of time it
Right.
was. Um, so, like, sitting down, it's like, okay, I've got 30 minutes. Do I want to kick up Slay the Spire, try and remember how it works? Continue to play that. I mean, I love Rogue Legacy 2. I haven't watched that thing since we stopped doing it
Oh
for the
yeah, me
show.
neither. Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous. That game is incredible. Like, it's so good, and there's too many games. There's
Hmm.
too much content, and I'm an idiot, and I buy too many games on sale.
Hey, at least you're buying them on sale.
I got $300 worth of games from last year that I got to play this year now. Thank you very
That's
much.
true.
And
Yeah.
let me tell you, that's not like 10 games or 11 games. That's like
Yeah,
56
it's
games.
not five full priced games.
Uh-huh. It's
Yeah.
a lot of sale buys. Um, I want to say I will, but the biggest issue I had with this, and it's not the game's fault, is it just did not click with me at all.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's because the runs I was getting towards the end of playing it was like 50, 60 minutes long. And it's like,
Yeah.
guys, I have to go to bed. And I know if I save and quit and come back tomorrow, I'll die the very next enemy because that's what
100%.
always happens in
Yep.
a
Or
roguelike
you're in
when
the
you.
middle of a battle and you're like, wait, how's this guy work again? Oh, right, I'm dead.
Uh-huh, exactly. So,
Yeah.
like, I I can't do that. So I have to sit down and do a run. It's like, I don't know if I have the time to sit down and put that amount of time into a roguelike. If I don't know. I mean, I still gotta go back and play the Dreamy game. That's incredible,
Oh, yeah,
Dreamscaper.
Dreamscaper. Man, time is just a real premium. Gosh.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is, and it's like, okay, do I play a roguelike I've played before and talked about and got the hashtag content from, or do I spend 30 minutes and play Dead Space? Like,
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
right now that decision is easy.
Right.
It's check my friends list. Is Rob online? No. Dead Space. Yes.
That's right.
Monster Hunter. Like that's the
It's
flowchart of my
yes.
gaming right now.
It's a two branch flowchart.
Yes, it's very very simple at the moment.
Right.
Um, I don't know. It is a fine game. I just don't think it clicked with me, and I think we potentially did this game a disservice by playing, in my opinion, a better game before it
Mm.
with
What?
the same mechanics.
Is that Grifflands?
That's Grifflands.
Yeah.
Because Grifflands has a very similar mechanic structure.
Yep.
You can see what people are doing, the cards, the terminology, all of that stuff is the same, except it's made by clay, so it looks incredible.
Hmm.
And it has a story, and it has the whole day cycle, and you can rewind to the start of the day once per run.
Hmm.
And it's got 3 different characters who all have different mechanics as well. It's like, it's It's a clay Slay the Spire, which is a problem
Right.
when you played that one first.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I like Slay the Spire a lot. And I think getting as deep as we got into it, I think you can very easily see it unfolding and kind of
Hmm.
showing us what it has. And I think very early on, it's we've played some I would say beloved kind of classic games before where we're like, I don't think I understand why you all love this thing. Um, and I think Slay the Spire really early on is just like, yeah, I get it. I can see why people can play this probably a little bit for the next couple of months slash years, which is if I'm gonna go back to it, that is probably how I'm gonna play it. Maybe like a run a week at most, probably. Um,
Yeah.
is I think my main problem. I like Slay the Spire a lot. I don't like the first two characters. I think they're fine. I think the starting character is whatever. The poison character is pretty cool, but really like the defect, that third character.
Hmm.
Um, but man, that game just every time you beat a boss and you go to the next day, the
The
sheer
difficulty ramp.
difficulty cliff that you are
Hmm.
faced with is I I find it pretty frustrating. I'm getting to the point now where like I can get up to the first boss and beat it, really no problem. Whether that's me getting better at the game or whether the unlocks I've gotten have made me stronger overall, I'm not sure. It's probably a combination of both, if I'm totally honest. Um,
Hmm.
and then getting to that second day, you're like, oh yeah, all right, like we're starting some fights with like three enemies, and every time I run into an elite enemy, the one with like the curved horns on the map, I'm going to lose.
Hmm.
Like that's just a guarantee, and that feels pretty frustrating, especially when you run in like, oh yeah, here's an elite enemy. It's a giant puffball that has like 70 armor and does 30 damage. Like,
Uh-huh.
what am I doing here? Um, so that feels pretty frustrating. And a lot of that I think is experience and just kind of getting used to it and kind of saying, oh well, I have to use these attacks or this kind of methodology to get through this enemy, and I need to just beat my head against it for a while to kind of learn that. But that's maybe not necessarily what I'm looking for right now.
Yeah.
I'm looking for something that's maybe a little bit more. The difficulty curve is a little bit smoother, and maybe one that isn't expecting me to play it forever. And
Yeah, I think that is one of the things is like it's the time investment.
yeah, and part of that I think is in whatever the positive way of the well being poisoned, whatever that phrase would be. It's probably in German. We are sort of poisoned a little bit by vampire survivors, where it's like, yeah, man, here's like 145 things to do, and then you're done. Here's a run. It's half an
Hmm.
hour. Then you're done. I kind of, I Vampire Survivors landed for both of us at the exact right time where it's like, yes, I can put a half an hour into this. Great, I can do that. I've got this giant checklist of things. Great, I can do that. And
Hmm. It
I,
gives you a target, and you can hit
yep,
that target and move on to the next target, the next target, the next target. This is very much like I'm a big blue whale. Go beat the game.
yeah, and like to be fair, this game does give you some targets of when you die, you're getting closer to some unlocks, and the achievements and trophies in this game I feel like are actually pretty good. I wish there were some more that were. I wish games like this were better at balancing giving you some trophies or achievements at the beginning. Um,
Oh, they give you like one, and then it's like,
mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like unlock
enjoy
the
the
second character
rest.
and then go to hell. I hate you. Um, and that I feel like that's pretty. I mean, to be fair, also Binding of Isaac has that problem too, where it's like here's 30 achievements at the beginning, then 10 months
Hmm.
later, here's another one. 2 years
Yeah.
later, here's another one. Um, so
Yeah.
Will I continue playing it? Maybe. I sort of wish that I had bought this and started playing this on iOS, because I feel like that would probably gel a little bit better with kind of where I can play this game. But I have heard that the iOS port has some pretty big problems, so I didn't purchase it there. So
Right.
I mean, probably I guess, but it's certainly not something that I'm going to race back to, which is kind of a bummer because I was really looking forward to playing this game because I thought I
Yeah.
would really like it and really click with it, and I just kind of didn't, and of no fault of the game, you know.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm very curious if it's a wrong time, wrong place kind of thing.
Right, right, right. All right, so let's figure out where we're going to put this game on our list of roguelikes. Talked about it before the show. Figure we're going to start at number 30. Is Slay the Spire better than Into the Pit?
Hold on. This is the part where my memory fails me.
Into the Pit was that first person,
Spell casting
yeah, the
game.
spell cast where you had like a different spell and a weapon in each hand, and you started in that
Yeah,
city.
Ziggurat except pixelated.
Yeah, yep.
I'm really gonna have to start putting descriptions on these things.
Yeah,
Um,
we're getting to that point. This is our 51st game we're putting in this list, so like, and only one of them entered the Hall of Fame, which is Rogue, by the way.
but because it deserves to.
Yeah, because it's
And if you want Binding of Isaac, go check out the almost year and a half of content we did on
like
that game.
67 episodes or something. Yeah, the Binding of Moonpier Boston Rebirth, I think we called it.
I believe
T-Bomb
so.
on.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a good show. Everyone should listen to that. I would.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, I was just about to say I would say it is too. I like Into the Pit a lot, but I think Slay the Spire for me
I still
was.
need to go back and save them villages.
Yeah, I got bad news for those villagers, man. I'm never saving them.
They've been waiting a while, dude.
Yeah, sorry guys. Yeah, yeah. I think I like Slay the Spire better than Into the Pit, kind of overall. Is Into the Pit better than No. Is Slay the Spire better than Darkest Dungeon?
No, but it's a better roguelike. Move it up.
Yep.
The Darkest Dungeon query.
Sorry, Darkest Dungeon. Is Slay the Spire better than Solitarica? I had to think about how to say that game's name again.
I think it is based purely on the fact that it actually randomizes things. That's my biggest problem with Solitarica. It is a quality game, but it's the same thing.
It's the same run every run.
And over and over. It's like, that's not what roguelikes is supposed to be, punk.
Yeah. Still surprised they haven't made another one of those. Seems like it was such a hit that they would just make another one. But yes,
I think I bought, and then I'll make Fortnite skins or something.
Probably. Yeah. But yeah, I agree. I think it's a better roguelike. Is Slay the Spire better than 20XX?
This is a tough one, actually, because I do not like 20XX, but logically, it is an incredible game.
I think I would say yes, largely due to variety, which I think was not only our criticism of 20XX, but I think pretty much everybody's, which is like, it kind of doesn't have enough characters and weapons and items and stuff. You kind of end up with the same weapon item combo by the end of every run, which I don't feel like was the case with Slay the Spire. I think because you're unlocking so much stuff, because the shop has so much stuff in it, I think it makes for each run feels a lot more varied, and I think it feels a lot more interesting.
That is true.
Yeah.
Sorry to derail us really quick here. Solitarica is made by Righteous Hammer Games. Righteous Hammer Games are working on a new game called Zor Pilgrimage of the Sloths.
Uh-huh.
It is a tile-based deck-building roguelike game.
All right. Check that out in a future We Roguelike It episode.
It looks cute as hell, I'm not gonna lie.
That's
And
great.
it's coming out this year,
Oh,
of
great.
course.
All right. Well, check it
Let's
out.
add it to the list.
Yeah, check it out in a couple of months. So it sounds like Slay the Spire goes over 20XX.
I'd say so, yeah. I mean, it's a fine game, but with someone who has zero.
Like nostalgia or affinity or
Yeah,
whatever you want to. Yeah.
yeah. Like Mega Man just never clicked with me, so it's like, okay,
Yeah.
cool. I guess it's Mega
They
Man
made a
X.
great Mega Man X, but, maybe not a great roguelike.
Mm-hmm.
Is Slay the Spire better than The Legend of Bumbo? Classic.
Yeah, because it's not broken.
Yeah. Talk about another game we just need to get back to and say, hey, now that
Yeah,
they've revamped the entire thing, what does Bumbo look
yeah.
like
Maybe we
now?
should give it another shot.
Yeah. All right. Is Slay the
No,
Spire
you don't
better
even
than
have to ask.
Griftlands?
No, it's not. And I
Yeah.
hate saying that because Slay the Spire came first, and Griftlands is very much Clay's take on Slay the Spire. I
Hmm.
get that, but it's also Clay artwork. It's Clay story. It's got a plot. It's got a reason to do the things. It's got story, characters, friendship, emotional bonds that you get up and down, and affects how the combat goes.
Right.
And also, it is brains to the wall hard as well. So
And his
it
two
shares
combat
that in common.
systems.
Dude, it has three.
Ah, that's true. Curses.
Because there's three
Yeah.
characters.
And each one has a combat and talking mechanic.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. To be fair,
So
though,
wait, does that mean it has six?
I think that's what we determined when we played it. Yeah.
Oh,
It's so much. To be fair, though, Griftlands does not have a potentially undead talking whale at the beginning of it. So, one knock against
that
it.
is true.
Yeah.
I don't know what the deal with the giant blue whale
I
is
have
that
no
keeps
idea.
spitting things out of me, but sure.
It gives
Like,
me some
this
cool
is the type
cards.
of thing I'm talking about, though. It's like, give me a reason for the giant blue space whale to
Right.
be speaking to me.
Right.
Other than, it's a roguelike and he's the thing that's doing something. Does he cry on you every time you die and you come back to life? Is that what it
Drip, drip,
is?
drip. Oh, man. Yeah,
I'm sure we played a game where a whale cried on you to bring you back to life.
I
But I
mean,
can't
at this
remember what
point,
it
we've
is.
been at this like 17 years or whatever, so they're almost guaranteed. Yeah, I agree. I Griftlands for us, whether or not that was the intended game that Clay was making, it certainly feels like they're taking Slay the Spire and kind of putting their version of improvements on it. And maybe that clicks with you, maybe it doesn't. Griftlands clicked with us. It has apparently way more staying power than I was really expecting it to for us. I have not expected us to talk about the Griftlands as much as we have, but it is a heck of a game. So I would agree that it stops here at 26, I believe, which seems super low, but like if you look at the rest of the games on the top half of our list, because we now have 51 games in this list, all of the rest of the games here are killers. Like 23 is Spelunky. Come on, man. If there's another
Just
game
like
that
a
was
legend
like
of the
fit for the
genre.
Hall of Fame, it would be Spelunky. And just like a list of killers there that I don't think Slay the Spire is going to beat, which is sort of, it seems unfortunate because it's at number 26, but like you're in the top half, so that's a pretty good spot to be with a huge list of games that we really like. In this
Yeah,
list.
it's kind of ridiculous, to be honest.
Yeah. All right, so Slay the Spire ends up at number 26 in our list. Don't forget that next episode is going to be Despot's game. We're going to play that for a month. You can get that on Game Pass. And we'll see you all next run. Bye.
That was the whale. Bye.
That's right.
The bye from the whale.
Cry, cry, cry.